Time zones. When planning a trip, it's important to understand some general information about time zones. The Earth is divided into 24 time zones, which means no matter where you live on the planet, your noon is the middle of the day when the sun is highest, while midnight is the middle of the night. So there has to be a starting point, and the starting point is in Greenwich, England. So that's like our 0. And then we have a map here of the different time zones in Canada. So we live in Ontario, and that's the Eastern time zone. I always hear this on TV. They say, okay, the show will be playing Central Time or Mountain Time or Eastern Time, okay? But these are legit names in Canada. So Eastern time zone, that's -5. That means we are -5 hours from that Greenwich, England. If we move over to Central time zone, that's both Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So those two is -6. Mountain time is considered Alberta. BC is Pacific time. If we go out east, well, if we look at like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, that's called Atlantic time. The only one that's kind of funny is Newfoundland time zone, because it's 3.5. So you have to subtract 3.5 hours from wherever Greenwich, England is. So let's go over some of these rules. So when you travel to the west, you'll subtract 1 hour for each time zone, except for Newfoundland because it's 3.5. Okay, but all the other ones they're full hours. We subtract 1. So we're Eastern. That means in Winnipeg, Manitoba, they're 1 hour away. We subtract 1 hour. So right now I'm looking at the clock. It is 11 o'clock. So it would be 10 o'clock. When we travel to the east, we add time. We add 1 hour for each time zone. And then let's look at Strathroy. Well, Strathroy is in Ontario, and we know Ontario is considered Eastern time. So let's do a couple examples. So it says, what is the mountain time zone? So first of all, mountain time zone is Alberta. Let's move this down. So mountain time zone is Alberta. If it is 3 p.m. in Central time zone. So first of all, you have to find Central time zone, and we want to know what mountain time zone. So 3 p.m., you have to subtract 1 hour, and it becomes 2 p.m. The next one says, what time is it in Eastern time zone? So Eastern time zone is Ontario, Quebec. If it's 3 p.m. in Central time zone. All right, so in Central time zone, we're going to Eastern, we add an hour. So we're gonna go 3 plus 1 gives me 4, so it's 4 p.m. Our last example says, what time is it in Pacific time zone? So Pacific time zone is way up here. So that's our BC, our Yukon. If it is 4 a.m. in Eastern time zone. All right, so we're going to subtract because we're moving west. So we start Eastern, it's 4. So in Central is 3. Mountain, it is 2. And then one more over would be 1 a.m. It would be 1 a.m. So the answer is 1.